Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, Lone Wolf 902. Today I'm out with my daughter in the backyard. You want to say hi?
Hi.
So this is Brooke. You had fun on your last trip, huh?
Yeah.
We went out. We didn't catch any fish last time, but we still had fun.
Yeah.
All right. So today we're out in the backyard, and already you can see right behind Brooke and right behind me, we've got another titanium stove coming from my good friends over at Pomoly. Now, behind Brooke, right here, if you want to show that a little bit, this is version 1 of the titanium stove. I do have a review on this already, and I love this thing. Okay, so this is we're gonna call it version 1 and then version 2. So this is version 1. This has the front glass and the side glass, as you guys can see. Burned very, very well. I love this stove with both windows. Here, you wanna hold that up to the camera. That's the chimney pipe for this stove. And it's the identical stove the identical pipe comes with this stove as well. So we'll go ahead and put that back over here. Good job. Set that right up there. So both stoves do come with a canvas zipper bag. So this is the same bag here, very nice heavy duty canvas with a zipper. Comes with that. It comes with, like I said, the stove pipe. It comes with a clamp, and it comes with a bunch of these rings to hold the pipe onto the stove as well. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
So, and a pair of cut gloves, I should mention too. It does come with gloves so you don't cut your hands on the pipe when you're putting it together.
Yes.
All right, so talking about stove pipes, this is the pre-assembled stove pipe. Shouldn't say pre-assembled. This is the stove pipe that I pre-assembled inside of the house before coming out here. Now, I used something different this time. Instead of rolling it and trying to get the form like I did with this pipe, I actually had a very useful tip from a viewer, and they said use pool noodles. So those foam noodles that you remember you used in the swimming pool?
Yeah.
Put them under your arm and you can float. So that's what we used. We used those the orange one, we put it inside and then we rolled it, and then we put the rings on there to hold it, and then we pulled it out of the end. Yeah, so it didn't get kinked, it didn't get bent. So very, very useful if you guys are looking to roll these for the very first time. They can be very tricky, and it does come with a pair of cut gloves in the stove bag, so go ahead and use those gloves. Use 2 people, okay? So 2 people to assemble this for the first time, and after you burn it in for the first time, it'll hold that memory, so next time you go and open up the pipe, it'll be really easy to roll with 1 person. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this stove pipe off to the side for now. Just pop that over there, okay? Then we'll talk about the stove. So this stove, version 2, is actually called the T1 stove. And the T is for titanium, because the whole stove's titanium. And the 1 is for 1 millimeter. So this stove over here, the top, the sides, the bottom, is 1 millimeter thickness of titanium. However, the front door is 0.6 millimeters. So it's a little bit more flimsy. Now, the model with the glass like I have here does not warp, because the glass actually holds that structure to the door, so it won't warp as easily. But I guess they were having a few issues with the non-glass version warping a tiny bit. So that's the reason why they've gone ahead and upped the ante for this stove. They've gone ahead and used 1 millimeter thick titanium for the entire stove. And this is pretty robust. Feel how light that is.
Ow.
Pretty lightweight, huh?
Yeah.
Looks like it's gonna be heavy. So like I said, the whole stove is titanium. Another mod that they made is they had the chimney section come off. So on this stove, it's actually fixed. It doesn't come off. This stove, they've gone ahead and cut these little fins here that basically lock into these corresponding holes, and then 2 little set screws hold it in place. Now the benefit of doing that is when you go ahead and pack the stove away, you won't have this nub sticking up out of the bag, much like that stove does. This you could take off and you can put it separately in a different spot in your backpack. All right, so looking at the version 2 stove here, I want to go ahead and give that piece to you. You want to hold on to that, and I'll give this piece to you too, just for now. The assembly to this stove is the same as it is this stove over here. So it's very simple. You just go ahead, it's fast fold design, open the front, open the back, and then you open the sides. See how easy this is, Brooke? And these little tabs, go ahead and swing that one down. I'll swing this one down. Turn it. Yep. Good job.
Hard.
Very hard. First time they are a little stiff. The first time before you you use it. After you burn it in, they do kind of loosen up a little bit. Now that's another added benefit I should point out. See this one right here? Those are rivets. So the version 1 is a permanent fixed rivet, so you can't tighten those. Now this one, like you felt with your finger, it's a little tight.
Yeah.
It does come with a little hex wrench that you can go ahead and loosen those off or tighten them over time. So there is a nut on the inside. You could tighten them or loosen them as you need. So this stove does not have that feature. This stove does have that feature. In fact, all the way around the stove has those hex key heads that you can loosen off or tighten. So do the same with this if you want to lock that one in. Get that down in there. That one's a little looser, huh?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
It only picked up the first one.
Only the first one, yeah.
Yeah.
So there we have the stove body set up. Now we're going to go ahead and open the legs the same way as the other stove.
Can I open one?
Yeah, you go ahead and pull that from the middle right there, just like that. And if you could reach under there, very gently. There, good.
Got it.
2 legs, good job. 2 legs. So there we have the stove body constructed without the top. Now here's where things get interesting. Like I mentioned, this top piece, Brooke, you want to hold on to that again. I'm going to go ahead and take out these 2 screws right here. The plate does have 2 titanium thumb screws. Oh, almost lost it. There's 1 screw. Take out the other one. I'll give that one to you too. Simply go ahead and place the top right directly on top of the stove. Very easy. Swing the tabs back into place just like the sides. Very easy construction.
Can I put one in?
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that one. This one might be really tight. There, go ahead. Swing that one in. Good job. All right. Whew. That was a lot of work, huh?
The fire's already going.
The fire is going. So that top piece, let's go ahead and put that up here, okay? Let's see, we'll go ahead and line the little fins up on the back side. So line that up, give it a turn, take our 2 titanium screws, screw them on there, finger tight, very simple, very easy. Get the other one in over here. Get that screwed on nice and tightly. There, so the stove is assembled. All right, so let's go ahead and have a look at the very top of this stove here. You can see that there's a large handle. It does have the damper, which turns very easily. Nice operation, open and close. This is an upgrade, okay? So if we come over to the other stove, a little bit of dirt there. This stove, as you can see, is a little bit different. It has a ring and kind of the same operation, just they upgraded the hardware. It's a little bit lighter, it's all titanium, whereas this one has some steel, some brass, and other components to it. So they both work really well, both very simple operation. All right, so hopefully we've gone ahead and covered some similarities and some differences between the stoves. Let's move this one right up behind you like that. So the stoves are coming in at the same dimensions. You can find all the specs, the weight, the dimensions, all that good stuff on Pomoly.com. I'll put the website in the link of the description of this video if you guys want to check that out, okay? So I will say that the stoves are coming in the same dimensions, the same size. Pretty much everything is very, very close. Just a few small tweaks. I'd say the major change is the damper on the top. And this lid design is quite different underneath. Once you kind of look at this and look at this, you'll understand there's a couple little tabs in there that lock in the lid differently. This falls on effortlessly. This one you have to line up a little bit more intricate, but they're both very, very good stoves. So now, what time is it?
I don't know.
Fire time.
Yay!
So now we're going to get fire inside of the stove, but first we've got to get our chimney pipe put on there, okay?
That's really big.
It is really big. So we're gonna go ahead and get the chimney on top of the stove, and then we're gonna use some of the firewood behind Brooke that we've already prepared, and we're gonna get this fire burning inside of the stove, of course. We've got a fire outside, and we're gonna have a fire inside.
Yay.
All right, so let's get this stove lit. open up the door. We're gonna cheat today. We're gonna use one of these fire logs, these little fire starters. I've never used one of these before. Never used one of these before, ever. So this is a first. So we're gonna light that in there. Let's get some of these pieces of wood on top of that though, so that'll catch on fire and that'll light the sticks, okay? Get that in here. Stove holds a lot of wood. You wanna put some in there? Go ahead. All right, guys, so if you guys were here the last time when I burned in the first stove, I was really excited, super excited. And in fact, I'm very excited right now because this is the first time we're burning in this. But the problem was I was by myself. So this time, I'm with Brooke and we're gonna light this and we're gonna burn it in it together. So let's go ahead. And I stole your mother's lighter.
I love that wood color.
We have an oil stove in our house, so the only lighter you'll ever see on the channel. Go ahead and light that. And like I said, we are using one of those artificial fire log type starters just to kind of make things a little bit quicker for this video. And I've never used one before. Pretty interesting. So you can see that's starting to go. That'll burn down the paper and then it'll go into the fire starter material and then it'll start burning. Pretty cool, huh?
I can already see some.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and shut the door very gently. All right, so we've got the damper wide open. We've got our front draft wide open and things are going. All right, so the stove is burning really good so far. See how hot that is in there?
Yeah, I did take a little peek right there.
Yeah, a little peek. It's burning really good. The top's not getting hot yet, but it was just lit, so damper on this works very, very smooth. The rear damper with the little turn of that key, very, very simple. And the front draft, also very effective, very easy to open and close. All right, guys, so I got a kettle. Get that up there. What's that for?
Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate. So we're gonna do up a pot of water, get that hot, and it's gonna be the very first piece of food that's gonna be made on the stove. Just us together. You have some hot chocolate and get warm.
Yeah.
So it is getting a little chilly out right now. The heat is coming off of that stove though. You go ahead and put your hand close to it, but don't touch, okay? Feel the warmth? It's warm. Imagine how hot this is gonna get inside of a tent. Very nice and warm. So we're gonna make up our hot chocolate and then we're gonna kick back and relax. This video is mainly a kind of a sneak peek. It's just kind of a fun video that we could do out in the backyard. I was excited with the stove. You were excited to come out and help me. So we figured why not come out and have a little bit of fun. So the full review will be coming for this stove as well as that stove over there because I haven't, to this date, right now, recording date, I have not done a review on that stove yet, a full review. I've done an in-depth look of it and I've done a camping trip with it and it worked very, very well. Very well, I will say that. But this stove tonight, we're just gonna kind of kick back in the backyard and test burning it and see how things go. So far, everything's going good. The chimney's holding up really nice. The top of the stove hasn't started turning purple or blue yet, but it will. It's turning bronze on the sides, so we'll get to that blue and purple stage and it'll look like this guy right here. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
All the blues and purple.
I see some golden.
There is some gold in there, yeah. So that's kind of the plan right now. We're gonna go ahead and let this burn. We'll get some more pieces of wood inside of the stove and get this thing cranking, get our hot chocolate made, and then we'll come back and talk about how the stove's doing. All right, guys, it is hot chocolate time. That stove is cranking out some heat, really, really hot, working really awesome too. So you hold on to the cup. Brooke has the hiccups right now. So if you hear any strange noises, that's what that is. Hold out your cup, go ahead and put that in there.
Looks like it's real.
Yeah, go ahead and damp this down a little bit. All right, so you get your chocolate in there. Here's the water. Go ahead and put your cup down here and I'll pour some water in it, okay? Yeah. Pour a little bit and then we'll stir it. Here's the spoon if you want to stir. I'll hold the cup.
I understand why they call hot chocolate.
Yeah. Hot chocolate. Go ahead and stir it really good, right to the bottom of the cup. Yep. There you go. All right, pour some more water in there.
Right up to
You need some help? Here, let me stir that up for you.
yeah.
Get this stirred. So it's been probably about 20-25 minutes. We've been loading some wood into the stove. It burns really efficiently. I should mention that we do have some pieces of hardwood here, and I believe this is poplar. Put 3 of these in there and they burn for a good 20 minutes. And that's with the damper wide open and the front vent wide open. So that's burning full max, as much as it can burn. As much oxygen in there as we can get. Now we did notice that we were getting some smoke puffing out of the side only when this front vent is wide open. When the wind comes from behind the camera. So like right now you can kind of see some of the smoke. So when the wind blows in, it goes in the vent, it's pushing the smoke out of the stove. Now, the stove would be inside of a tent, so there wouldn't be any wind driving directly in the front of it like it is right now, because there's a breeze coming through here constant. So that is one thing that we did notice. When the wind died down, there was no wind. We went ahead and opened up the front vent all the way, and it burned completely clean and no smoke was puffing out. But as soon as you open that up, when the wind is blowing directly into the stove, much like this other stove over here, and much like all my other tent stoves, if there's wind blowing in the front of it, it's going to puff smoke out the sides. But it's going to be in a tent, so nothing really to worry about a whole lot. So your hot chocolate is ready.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and do a test sip because it may be hot. Mm-hmm. And then we've got some turtle bites. You ever have these before?
I don't think so.
Try one. Little miniature chocolate turtles.
It looks cute.
Uh-oh.
Oopsies.
Here, here's another one.
Mm.
In your mouth.
It looks really cute.
Mmm.
Mm.
Good?
Yum.
Really good. How's your hot chocolate? Hot?
Yeah.
Very hot. All right, so we're still burning in the stove. It is now starting to turn its blue and purple, which Brooke really likes. Nice pretty colors on your side.
Yeah.
Almost kind of like the cup, huh?
Yeah.
So we do have some really interesting colors coming in the stove, and we're just about ready to wrap up our test night of burning. So far, so good. Yeah? Everything's working really well, and I'm really happy with it. So, like I said earlier, I will be doing a full review on both of these stoves individually, and then I'll go ahead and do a comparison between the two. Now, this stove over here, I do not believe is available anymore. They've switched very quickly. This was available for, I want to say, maybe a week, and then it kind of changed and evolved into what you see right here burning now. So this stove is the current model at the time of filming, and who knows, there might be a version 3 coming really quick. I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys, we've been sitting here for another, what, half hour or so?
I think so.
I think we've basically gone through, well, we've got only 2 more pieces of wood. We're not going to burn them tonight. We're going to save them for another night. Pretty much got the stove burned in. It's turned a really nice purple, gold, and blue, that nice titanium look. And we're pretty happy with it so far. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this totally cool down and burn out. and you're getting pretty cold. I'm getting pretty cold, and I'd like to get inside. So we're gonna let this burn out, and we're gonna pack up both stoves, and yeah, I think that was pretty much it for tonight. We just really wanted to get out and burn in this stove for the first time. Yeah, a little chilly, getting pretty cold. All right, so why don't we say goodbye, and we will do another video of this and the other one possibly in the fall, in the winter time, and we'll get in the hot tent and we'll get really nice and warm. Okay? All right, say bye.
Bye.
All right, peace out, guys.